and they got Kamani. So Ben is about 2 hours away from, via jet. And so he's like, well, damn, like, how far did, where's Jake? Like, how far did y'all get? And Chen tried to follow Jake, but he had to stop because he was losing so much blood. So apparently he got all the way outside to like a little bit outside of Santa Ana. And so Ben, of course, he's freaking out because fuck, he's 2 hours out. So Batar was on it though. Batar's on the road. He's trying to get to Weaverville. So Kamani was having a dream about Ben, and that's who she thought was talking to her. And so then when she finally came to, it was fucking Jake. And so he, of course, had this long speech of how, she was the cause of all his problems, that, he lost deals because of this case and all this type of shit. And then saying all kind of racist shit, like, your people need to, that's why you should have remained on a plantation. I mean, just awful shit. And he told her she was going to give him a blowjob, and it was for all the men that are done wrong by women like her. The audacity. It's just crazy. So then Vince is there as well. And just when he's about to make her give the blowjob, Claire pops up. So Vince comes and he's like, Claire's here. So apparently Jake had told Claire that he was thinking about going up to the cabin, and he was saying that to her clearly because he, in other words, I'm not going to be in town, right? She took it as, oh, I'm going to surprise him. So she takes her little ass up there. So Jake was pissed. He's like, fucking blondes. I hate them, It's like, damn. So he leaves to go deal with Claire. So she was glad Claire was there, even though the last time she was no help. So I was like, what the fuck is you happy about her? Like, this girl just wants Jake. So I don't know what the hell you think is so great about Claire being there. So he goes back in, and he's about to again make her, suck him off. And then Claire pops in because apparently she was going to go take a shower and she was going to ask him to join her. But she sees this. And so Kamani's like, call 911, like screaming it at her. And she's like in a daze, like, what? Like, it took a minute for it to register to her what was happening, which I'm sorry, I mean, that's not really that hard. But I guess for her, it was a difficult moment, I guess. So she's like froze. So then he starts yelling at her, and he's like, you know what? How about you show her how to do it? So he like forced her down, pushed her to the ground, and made her suck him off. And she really couldn't because she kept crying. So then Kamani tells him, listen, if you don't hurt us, I'll suck you off real good. She's like, I'll tug your balls, guys like that. She was like, I'll even put my finger in your ass while I suck you. He, of course, is intrigued by this shit. So he undoes her hands. And so then when he gets to put his dick in her face, right when he has because he has like this little glass of scotch, right when he's about to lift it to his mouth, she like knocks it in his eyes. So he's blind for a little minute. So he loses the gun. The gun's on the ground. Connie's screaming at Claire, get the gun, So finally her silly ass gets it. And then they hurry out and Vince is there. So she has to headbutt him to like get around from him. And then they're about to storm out of the cabin and they hear a noise. So when they open the front door, they're met with a barrel of another gun, but she hears Ben's voice. So then Ben gets in there. Ben beats the shit out of Jake. And then Kamani joins in and he's like, God, I love you. Like, and so Batar took Claire out of the cabin, took her to the car, and then Ben was about to kill Jake. And Kamani had to kind of plead with him not to do it. He's like, you want this fucker to live? And she was like, no, I just don't want you going to jail. So he asked her, like, so he finished beating him up. He was beat to a pulp. Like, he was fucked up. Jake was. So he asked her, he's like, what the fuck what happened? What did he do to you? And she's like, nothing, I'm okay. He's like, don't lie to me. He's like, because I'm going to have you checked out. He's like, you better not be lying to me. She's not. She's like, I'm not lying to you. And so he was like, what did he say to her? He was like, I'm going to punish you. And she was like, you can punish me good how did she say it? You can punish me good, master. And that turned him the fuck on. So she wound up staying with Ben for a few days after that because she was hurt up and he really didn't trust anybody to protect her like he could, to be honest. So she stayed with him. And but she did eventually go back because she didn't want to leave Marissa at their place. Ben thinks it's more so because that, you know, maybe she's afraid to kind of dive into a relationship with him. But I'm like, yo, you've already said you loved her. She's already said she loved you. You want to be together. So it's like, no, I think she genuinely was just kind of concerned about her friend. You know what I mean? So it's election day, and May actually came into town to help. But really, what is there to help? It's election day. Shit's done. She came because she wanted to meet the woman that had her brother all tied up in a whole tizzy. That's what that was. And when she met Kamani, they hit it off immediately, and it was great. Jake and Vince, they're going to get charged with aggravated assault and kidnapping, so those charges are going to stick. They did try to kind of roll over on the Scarlet auction, but that didn't help their case. The Scarlet auction is ceased, so it didn't matter. That day, on the election day, Ben gives Kamani a choker with diamonds in it, and he's like, you know, will you wear it for me? Because, you know, the whole choker thing, that's a whole, you know, significance of, you know, dom and sub. And so she agrees to do it, and that's how the book ends. So I thought it was sweet. It worked out. What did you guys think of the series? Do you think you could do a BDSM type of a relationship? Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if the next is going to be a series or a standalone. Haven't decided yet, so it's going to be a surprise. Make sure you all like, share, subscribe. I appreciate your support so much. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Always Reading Book Club.